Hey guys, how's it going? It's on 4 here. Welcome back to another Destiny video. So today guys, the Iron Banner begins once again. So in this video guys, I'm gonna be showing you guys what I'm gonna be using for the Iron Banner. Last Iron Banner I showed you guys my bladdanzer subclass and my setup with the weapons and everything. But this time I'm gonna go into the Iron Banner as a gunslinger, and I'm also gonna be using different weapons. Alright, so first of all, let's get into this subclass and all the perks and stuff. So first of all, for my grenade, I'm gonna have the trip mine grenade. Trip mine grenade is great. Sticks to walls, sticks to enemies. Is fantastic for setting up a trap, or maybe just deny the enemies a small area for a certain period of time. The trip mine is very powerful. You definitely don't want to underestimate the trip mines. And as I already said, you could also stick it up to enemies, and if they're in a big group, they're probably all gonna die. So for my jump upgrade, I decided to go with better control, because I like having more control when I'm doing my second jump. It's really good, especially when you're trying to make a sudden change where you double jump. Better control will help you with that. For my golden gun upgrade, I'm gonna go with combustion. And I gotta say guys, I love combustion. Combustion is a very good perk, especially when you're going against enemies that are sticking kind of close to each other, because you could use fire. Let's say there's 3 guys. You can use fire at the middle one, and maybe the explosion kills the 2 guys around him, or at the worst case scenario, it damages them pretty bad, so they'll be a lot easier to kill. Alright, so now moving on to my throwing knife upgrade. So this was probably the hardest decision I had to make with the subclass, because I really like 2 of these perks. I really like Incendiary Blade, which is what I'm actually gonna go with, which when I throw a throwing knife, it will make the enemy catch fire, dealing additional damage over time. Because in the Iron Banner, the Incendiary Blade has a chance of pretty much just one-hitting enemies, at least with the damage over time. My other option that I also have for the throwing knife upgrade was Knife Juggler, which precision kills with the throwing knife immediately reset its cooldown, which I also really like, because I really enjoy having throwing knives. But even though I like the Knife Juggler a lot, I just ended up going with Incendiary Blade instead. For my pad, I decided to go Pad Unknown. For my first perk here, I decided to go with Gunslinger Strands. Precision kills increase weapon stability, and it could stack up 3 times. This is great, especially when you get to stack it up to 3 times, which it doesn't always happen. Most of the time you'll probably get to 2 stacks, and then maybe it runs out. But this is great, especially for the Hawk Moon, which is the weapon that I'm going to be using this Iron Banner. And it just makes it a lot easier to hit those headshots constantly. And if you keep getting constant headshots, then you could keep up the Gunslinger Strands. For my way, I decided to go with the Way of the Fearless. And for my last perk, I decided to grab an additional throwing knife, because I really enjoy playing with throwing knives, and they could also be lifesavers at some point. Like if I run out of ammo, instead of reloading, I could just hit the enemy with a throwing knife and take him out that way. Alright, so now let's move on to my weapons. So for my primary weapon guys, I'm going to go in with the Hawk Moon. I have on an aggressive ballistics, which gives it more predictable recoil, enhanced impact, but a shorter range, and a little bit more recoil. Lock in the chamber will allow 1 random bullet in my magazine to do a lot more damage. This one's pretty self-explanatory. You just get 1 round, injure 11 rounds, that's gonna do more damage than the other ones. So for my roll perks, I'm gonna go with Hammerforge, which improves the range and improves accuracy. So what I'm trying to do here is just pretty much just make up for the loss of range I lost when I equipped aggressive ballistics. And the last perk, Holding Aces, the perk that makes the Hawk Moon the Hawk Moon. Holding Aces will allow 2 more random bullets in your magazine to do extra damage, and it will also add 2 rounds to your magazine capacity, bringing it up to 13. So as I already said guys, this is what makes the Hawk Moon the Hawk Moon. This is pretty much what makes the Hawk Moon so good, because if you're lucky enough to hit one of those lucky bullets, you could possibly take down an enemy in 2 shots, which is very nice. Whenever I play with the Hawk Moon, I tend to have some very good luck with the lucky rounds. They always seem to come in right when I need them, and that's very good for me. But I don't like relying on the chance of having extra damage in a round, so whenever I'm shooting someone, I'm typically ready to hit them 3 times, which is what the Hawk Moon kills most of the time if you're going for headshots, like I usually am when I play with hand cannon. But the lucky bullets are definitely something that helps me out when I'm playing with Hawk Moon. Alright, so now moving on to my special weapon. This is the same shotgun I used in the last Iron Banner video. So I'm gonna go through this one pretty quickly. Alright, so I'm gonna have a smooth ballistics, which will increase recoil, but it will give me a boost to range, which is always nice. You always want to have the longest range you can on your shotgun, you know, increase your one shot potential. For my first perk, I'm gonna have rangefinder, which it also increases my range when aiming down sights, which I always try to do. For my perks, I'm gonna go with rifle barrel. It slows down my reload quite a bit actually, but it's gonna increase my range even more, which I'm just trying to increase the one shot potential even more. And the last perk is performance bonus. Kills with this weapon have a chance to grant bonus reserve ammo, and this is just a very nice perk to have. Every time you kill a couple of enemies, you'll get a couple rounds back. So yeah, very nice. Alright, so now let's move on to my heavy. Alright, so for my heavy, I'm gonna have the Hero Quillum's Terminus. So for my ballistic guys, I have Line Compensator, which gives more predictable recoil, and it gives it a slight boost to range and impact, but it also increases the recoil. So yeah, you get more recoil, but it's a lot more predictable. It has Cocoon, which the weapon's automatically reloaded when you put it away, so that's not really useful for PvP. I really don't ever see me putting away my heavy weapon when I have heavy ammo. I always have it out. And for my roll perks guys, I'm going to have Small Bore, which increases the range and the stability, but it's gonna reduce my reload speed. And it's supposed to reduce my magazine size, but it doesn't, at least for now. Alright, and the last perk guys is Persistence, which will increase the stability the longer you fire the weapon. And this is great. You will really see the effect of persistence while you're firing the weapon. It is very noticeable. So guys, this is a great machine gun. It hits very hard. You can use melt enemies. If you guys have one of them, I recommend that you definitely use it in the Iron Banner. Even if you don't have the hero version, if you only have the normal version, use it because it's pretty much the same thing. The only difference between the two of them is the name and the base damage you can acquire them at. But anyways guys, this is what I'm gonna go into the Iron Banner with. As always, I hope you have enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you haven't already. Comment below if you have any suggestions or any modifications I can do to my loadout. Also comment below what weapons you're gonna go into the Iron Banner with. And I'll see you guys in the next one.